Hey everyone, this is Dr. Augustine from Health Solutions Plus, and I want to welcome you today to our live stream where we're going to be I'm going to be answering one question. It's a very common question regarding thyroid symptoms. And if any of you guys have thyroid symptoms like tiredness, weight gain, fatigue, loss of hair, and they feel like they're never going away from you, we're going to share some things today that can benefit you. And I'll also share about my free webinar as well that I'd like you to attend to really educate you, so you can have the information that you need to ask your doctor proper questions so you can get the care that you need to ultimately to get better. But today I want to share with you an email that we received, and it was from Carol. And Carol basically said, she said, I had a total thyroidectomy on January 18th of 2017. I'm also on levothyroxine daily now and vitamin D. I also have Graves' disease. My levels are still not where they need to be. I still stay tired and weak. I have hair loss, muscle aches, no appetite. I'm depressed. I could go on. I just want to know, does it ever get better? I was like this before surgery for a long time and thought it would be better. Is there light at the end of the tunnel? Please let me know. So let's kind of pick this apart because, I get a lot of questions from women emailing me, number one, saying, everybody talks about hypothyroidism. Everybody talks about, Hashimoto's, but nobody talks about Graves. So really, what's the difference? Well, with Graves, what happens is that it's an autoimmune condition, very similar to Hashimoto's is also an autoimmune condition. But what makes it different is that the immune system attacks normal, healthy thyroid tissue. Obviously, that's not normal. There's a reason for it. And most women that I talk to, their doctor, either primary or even endocrinologist, has put them on medication like Carol here. They put her on levothyroxine, which is just a synthetic form of T4. And other options, Armour thyroid, Synthroid, levothyroxine, those are all different options that people are on. Yet, so many women continue to have symptoms, and that should tell you something. That really should tell you that there's something missing. If you continue to take, meds that your doctors put you on, and yet you have continued symptoms, a lot of women I speak with have been on it for years and years and years, and yet they still don't notice any difference. Well, that should raise, flag number one. And to go back to Carol's question, she had a total thyroidectomy. Well, a lot of, what her doctor told her here is that, hey, we'll take your thyroid out, everything will be normal, and life will be good. And what she found out after she got this, it was just recently, is that, her symptoms aren't any better. And, what a shame. I'm sorry that, you've had to go through this, Carol, because it's obviously not fun. And you're really looking for some help, for some hope to get through this and get through some of the symptoms as far as to get better. So one of the biggest things that you have to identify are what are the triggers to the autoimmune condition. And this is probably one of the biggest things that I never see uncovered. In blood work and just other testing that most doctors do, TSH, free T4, free T3, things like that. Ask your doctor, why do I have this? What is my trigger to my autoimmune issue? And most will probably stare at you blankly and say, I don't know. And maybe they don't. So we're not going to certainly blame them, but that's a valid question. You want to know that. That is a key to getting better. So like she said, her levels, I'm assuming she's meaning her TSH levels are still not where they want to be or where they need to be. And how many of you are like that? Maybe you've had blood work done and your TSH should ideally be between 1.8 and 3.0. That's ideal. But many labs, you're going to see 0.45 to like 4.5, 5.0, depending on which lab you go to. And one thing I didn't know for the longest time is that every lab is different. So you really have to, look at your blood work. Get copies of your blood work. Be an advocate for yourself. Don't just take, your doctor's word saying that you're out of range or everything's normal today. Because you want to look at it. And again, TSH should be 1.8 to 3.0 ideally. And I can tell you this, whenever anybody comes to me that's been diagnosed already with Graves' disease or Hashimoto's, blood work does not often correlate with how a person's feeling. And I'm sure you've been there before. If you've had thyroid symptoms for any length of time, you probably had it and they come back and they tell you, well, hey, everything looks great. And yet you feel anything but great. You're still gaining weight. You're still tired in the morning when you get up. The hair's, you're still cleaning the hair off the drain in the morning with a shower. Your libido's down the tubes. The list goes on. And I don't have to remind you of all the different symptoms here, but my point is there's reasons for these types of things. So for Carol, to go on to your last part of your question, you're like this before surgery for a long time and thought it would be better. Is there any light at the end of the tunnel? Well, the short answer is yes, there is, but it's going to have to change what you're doing right now. If you keep doing what you have been, you're going to keep getting the results that you've been getting. Now, if you're happy with that, then by all means, keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not, I like to invite you to our thyroid web class. Part of this web class, it usually runs anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. I don't like to go much over that. And I kind of start from the basis. Some people know some of the basic things with thyroid because many of the women that I talk to from all over the country have done some extensive research, and I commend you for that. You have to do that. So great job. However, I want to start at the kind of point one or point zero, so to speak, and kind of build up to where we need to get for, some of the more complicated cases. For instance, like TH1 and TH2 balancing. If you've never heard of that, definitely get on the webinar because that plays a big part in getting that thyroid working like it should and reducing the symptoms. So if you're interested in hopping on one of our thyroid webinars, I invite you to go check it out. If you look right below the video or even right above the video, there should be a link. And the link is just going to take you to our registration page. It's totally free. However, the service that we use to broadcast our webinars, there's only enough for 100 seats. We get very close to that every single time that we have a webinar. So I would say go register now. If you want to share this with a friend or a family member, please do that as well. But I'm going to be starting to take some more questions and answers as we're going along here because I literally have hundreds and hundreds of questions that I am not able to get to on the webinar. I answer, definitely a bunch of them, but with hundreds and hundreds of questions coming in, there's no way possible. We'd be on there for, several hours or a marathon. And so I'm going to try to do it and break it up into some different live streams for everybody that's watching. But again, feel free to share this with your friends or family. Go right above the video or right below the video. There'll be a link there. Be real easy. Just go ahead and click on it and you'll be able to register for one of my free thyroid webinars. Again, get on it, check it out. I do have a couple of free gifts for you on there. One of them is our free recipe guide. So I hope you get on. I'll put a link up on there where you can download the recipe guide. And another gift I'm going to share with you on the webinar. But I can promise you it'd be worth it. It's $125 value. But the information alone is going to be priceless. Again, you can take this to your doctor. You can ask really good questions and see what type of answers you get. But again, this is Dr. Augustine from Health Solutions Plus. I look forward to talking with you or seeing you on the webinar. Again, you'll have an opportunity to ask questions as well. And we'll go from there. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.